My name is Melinda DeHaast and you're listening to the Monarch Media podcast. Today we're talking to Adrian Costin from Autism Queensland. Adrian, could you please tell us a bit about autism for those who are not familiar with ASD? And could you please tell us a bit about Autism Queensland and the services you provide?
Absolutely, thank you. So autism is tricky. A lot of people, it affects a lot of people. I think it's 1 in 100 children is the figure we use. In America they say it's 1 in 68, but that tends to be the Australian standard. It is, as the name suggests, it's autism spectrum disorder, so it's a spectrum. So everyone is different, and I can't remember who said it, but basically they'll say if you've met one person with autism, you've met one person with autism, because it affects everyone differently. There are some elements of ASD which are similar. Often people may have social difficulties, they're awkward in social situations, they might struggle to hold a two-way conversation, have a lot of sensory issues. An assumption is made that people with ASD don't like loud noises. Well, that's actually not right. Some may love loud noises, or they might. It just depends. But they can be quite sensitive to environmental changes, noises, things like that. Also, quite like routines. Mm-hmm. It is a very tricky thing to explain because it is such a vast spectrum of challenges, I guess, these people face. It is a lifelong disability, though. But everyone, if they can receive the correct interventions at whatever age, preferably when they're little if they're diagnosed young, but at all stages, that of course will help them reach their maximum potential in their lives. And you have, I guess, some people with ASD are non-verbal. They don't talk. Others are world leaders. It's really, really vast. Autism Queensland has been around for over 50 years now. It was started back in the mid-60s by some families who decided they wanted to support their children. Back then would have been quite tricky. I think autism was virtually unknown back then. They employed an occupational therapist, so that was the first staff member. Mm-hmm. And it was based initially in Spring Hill, and then from there it's grown. The site we're at the moment, Sunnybank Hills, we've been here for over 40 years. So this centre was built for Autism Queensland 10 years after it was formed. We run a school, we have therapy services, which is speech pathology, occupational therapy and psychology. Some of our centres, there's social workers there. We provide supported living facilities. So really we support everyone across the lifespan, from little kids who come to us from 18 months, 2 years for early childhood intervention, through to the children who attend our schools, the 8 to 10-year-olds who come to our group programs during the holidays. We have respite, on and on it goes. But basically we have, to steal that word, a broad spectrum of services we can provide to people. And we also support for families. We do, people can ring and ask advice. And we also, now we're moving into the National Disability Insurance Scheme phase. We're helping people muddle their way through that as well. It's quite tricky.
That's amazing. Your service is really important.
Yes.
Now, so coming up very shortly will be the 7th annual Go Blue fundraising and awareness campaign for Autism Queensland. Could you just tell us a bit about Go Blue, when it is, what it's about, and the background story?
Yeah, sure. So Go Blue was 6 years ago, started 2012. Before that, Autism Queensland had a campaign called Dress Differently Day. Very successful. People wear odd socks, things like that. But we didn't really want to focus on people with autism being different. We want to embrace their autism. And so Go Blue was developed on the back of an American campaign called Light It Up Blue, where buildings around the world go blue. We decided to do a local take on it. So Go Blue for Autism was born. It runs out, that campaign is our major, I guess, awareness and fundraising campaign. Runs every April. Why April? It's a tricky month because Easter often falls, school holidays. But April the 2nd is World Autism Awareness Day, United Nations sanctioned day. So perfect day to launch it. So that way it becomes every April. Yeah.
And our donations, how will they help? Who will they help? Are you able to elaborate a little bit on that, please?
Yeah, basically all donations obviously go back into the business and are spread across our services. A lot of the general fundraising, actually, I talked about an information and helpline that we run, which is a free service for people. We take staff offline to answer those phones and answer those emails. So it's our unfunded services that your donations help. Because, yeah, the school gets... it is a fee-paying school, but we also have funding support from the Education Department. Our early intervention services used to receive funding from the Helping Children with Autism package. Now that's going, but the NDIS is coming in. But we still have services that don't sit underneath that and that we don't charge people to access, because obviously we are a fee-for-service organisation because our services are delivered by professionals and we need to pay those staff. But these other ones where we just want to be there to help people, that's where generally our donations and are directed. Yes. Just to help us being able to still deliver those services.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for explaining that. Now, for those listening that want to help out and go blue in 2019, can you tell us a bit about how we can get involved?
Yeah, there's lots of ways. Of course, we've talked about general donations, but we want it to be fun. The most popular thing, I think, are blue morning teas. It's great fun making things with blue, blue cupcakes and gold coin donation. Other workplaces just have a dress up blue day, again a gold coin donation. Some people hold activities. They might have a cocktail party. They're very that's very ambitious, but they've done it. They have blue cocktail parties or other events where they just ask people to donate and then they forward the money on to us. Schools have gold coin donation days. If anyone is having an event, for instance, someone might be having a 4-wheel drive event. What they might do is, if they hold it in April, they donate the proceeds back to us. So really, the world is your oyster. However you want to go blue, just enjoy it and have fun. It's not, there's no limits on it. Everyone's imagination is really the only limit.
Yeah, it does sound like you can really do anything.
Oh, well, you can, yeah. One year we had a dog clipping business.
Oh, wow.
And so she dyed her own dog blue, not totally, the ears and the tail and everything. I think we still have that photo on our website. It was the poster dog. And so everyone who came and had their animals clipped that month, she donated a percentage of the proceeds back to us. So, great ideas like that.
Yeah,
great fun, and makes for us a lovely story to share on our social media.
Yeah, that's great. Now, would you say that you've had a favourite event or campaign contribution? The dog one sounds really great, but other than that one, would there be one, would you say?
Well, this wasn't a fundraiser, but Mackay City Council, who have been supportive from the very beginning, they have a fountain in the middle of the city, and every year it's blue. They turn the water blue. It's very simple, but it's lovely, and everyone comes to have a look at it. Brisbane City Council do the same here. They light the bridges blue, which is a really generous offering of theirs. I think because I love animals, there was the dog one, and also somewhere, it may have been Kuranda or Malanda or somewhere, I think it was a coffee shop where people could visit, but they actually painted one of their calves in the paddock blue.
Wow.
So that was quite nice.
Yeah,
too.
that's amazing. Now, do you have a success story from the campaign or organisation that you'd like to share with us?
Yeah. Well, actually, I think Martin really has got behind Go Blue, and he is our primary ambassador. So yeah, his is a lovely story. So Martin Edge is a naive artist. So his paintings are quite childlike, but very, very good. He's a professional artist. He attended our Brighton campus 30 years ago, and is still so supportive of us. He his works have been collected by the the Federal Gallery has his works. The State Library here have an art collection, and they have his works. I've been trying to get hold of him, as you know, but he's got 3 or 4 exhibitions coming up. His most recent was a solo one. He has a gallery on the coast that stock a lot of his work, but he his successes are amazing. He's just going from strength to strength and helps us enormously. We have a jute bag we sell at the moment, and he donated the artwork for us to use for that. He really is just a wonderful ambassador. He likes to call himself, an artist with autism. He's very proud of the fact he has autism and very proud of his successes, which he should be. He's brilliant. He's a very good artist. Yeah.
Now, Adrienne, can you tell me what the 2019 campaign message, Share the Shine, means to you?
Oh, I think that's lovely. Well, it's embracing who you are. It may be, like Martin, someone with talents. Otherwise, you're just a great person. Others are very proud. There's little kids out there very proud of the fact they have autism. So I think that's a lovely tag because, the shine can be whatever you choose that to be. Yeah, absolutely. Very much so. It's a lovely idea.
Was there anything else that you'd like to add about AQ or ASD?
It's very unusual to meet anyone who has either not met or doesn't have a family member who has ASD.
Yes, absolutely.
It's everywhere. There's so many people living with it. A lot of people may have lived with it for many years and not realised that's why they struggle a little. But yeah, a person with autism should just be accepted as someone with autism. I think that's so important. It's just that, but you need to understand the challenges they may have, and the greater understanding we can have. And it's like with every disability. I think you just need to understand. And we're all people, and we all have different, challenges we face every day. Different ways we approach life. That's just the way it is. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time today, Adrienne. Further information about Autism Queensland and the Go Blue campaign can be found on the description box of this episode. Once again, I'm Melinda de Haast, and this has been the Monarch Media Podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you.